physics? Okay, that is the first question I would like to ask you. What is physics? Anything that you feel like you can answer. What is physics? See, I think physics you know since I think class 8 or 7. From that time onwards, you know that there is a subject called physics. And if you know somebody for 2 years like that, 8, 9, 10, or 9 and 10, once you know somebody or something for 2 years, you should at least know what it is, right? If you know me for 1 year or 2 year, you should know who is Pankaj sir, what Pankaj sir is doing. So similarly, I think most of you know physics for at least 1 year minimum. So in that 1 year minimum, what you have learned, what do you think is physics? So that would, if you answer to me, I will get some idea regarding how much you are knowing. Again, don't worry if you are not able to answer any question. It doesn't matter. My job as a teacher is to explain everything to you, and then in exam I will be asking questions to you that you have to answer yourself. Okay. So physics is a vast subject which is a branch of science dealing with several laws and theories around us. Quite a good one, which deals with mechanism, a stream of science. Very nice, Nandita. What about other students? Please participate. Basis for science, application of theory in life. Physics is study of nature, a branch of science that deals with quantities and matter. Very nice. So I'm going to start the class directly. Okay. You may be thinking, "Arey sir, this is the first class. Why don't you talk to us for some time?" See, talking and all we will continue as we discuss physics. We will keep discussing, and with time you will come to know two things about me. First thing is I really enjoy physics, and I love teaching physics. So I hope all of you will also enjoy and love to learn physics from me. Okay. So everything in, around, and beyond the universe. Very nice. Okay. So all of you have given superb answers. Okay. But let me tell you what is physics for me. Okay. So let me write down. And this is something I want all of you to write down. Branch of science which deals with nature. Superb. Superb. Okay. Raksha. So I want all of you to have a notebook and a pen. Okay. So that whatever I discuss, you write down. So let me explain what is physics for me. Okay. So for me, physics is, it is the most fundamental, not mental, okay, fundamental study of, some of you already told, nature using mathematics. Using mathematics. So this is what is physics for me. Good evening, Madhavan. I'm sorry, I think I have made all of you wait for a long time today. Some miscommunication happened. Anyways, all of you are at home only, so I hope it was not a big problem. Okay. So just see the definition that I have given for physics. This is my definition. Okay. So what is physics? It is the most fundamental study of nature using mathematics. Okay. Now, why I did not write, listen carefully. Now stop messaging for some time. Concentrate, all of you. Why I did not write it is the study of nature. Why I did not write it is the study of nature? Because if I write physics is the study of nature, then chemistry will feel bad. Chemistry is also studying nature only. What? They are studying outside nature or what? No, right? Biology will say, "Arey, we are studying more nature. We are studying human beings, animals, plants." So biology will say we are also studying nature only. So every branch of science, whether it is physics or chemistry or biology, is studying something that is around us or within us. Understood? So physics is also a study of nature like other sciences, but be careful. It is the most fundamental study. Most fundamental. Now fundamental word means what? Fundamental word means basic, foundation. For example, if you want to read story of, let's say, a story of some movie, suppose some script is written, Bahubali script is given to you. First thing is you should know ABCD, right? That is the fundamental. If you know ABCD, or if you know the Kannada letters, then you will be able to understand words. Then from words you can understand sentence. From sentence you can understand stories. Understood? So physics is the most fundamental study of nature. I will give you examples, don't worry. So, but please understand now only that physics is the most fundamental study of nature. It is not the only study of nature. It is most fundamental study of nature. And it uses mathematics to study nature. It uses mathematics. Now, let me try to explain the definition, why I am writing like this. So why am I calling it most fundamental? Why am I calling it? It is the most fundamental. Why other subjects are not most fundamental? Why physics is most fundamental? Try to listen carefully. In chemistry classes, for example, you will study about atoms because chemical reactions are all about electrons and electrons are part of atoms. Yes or no? So atoms you will be studying. Now when you study atoms, you will learn that electron revolves around the nucleus. Electron revolves around the nucleus. But if something is going around the nucleus, there must be some reason. If this mobile phone or this marker, if this marker starts revolving around me, then all of you will get surprised. No, you will think, "Arey, what happened to this marker?" So if electron is revolving around the nucleus, there must be a reason. And that reason is understood using Newton's laws. Newton's laws. And Newton's laws are part of which subject? Physics. So in chemistry, the basic of chemistry is what? Atoms. And to understand atoms, to understand the constituents of atoms, to understand the motion of parts of atoms, you need laws of motion. And laws of motion was derived by Newton. And therefore, physics plays a very important role in chemistry. First one. Now let us come to biology, for example. In biology, there are some very special birds are there. European robins, it is called. European robins. Okay, these are some very small birds. This part will be golden in color, golden, yellowish color. They will migrate during winters. They migrate from Europe to Africa. During winters, they go from Europe to Africa. You will study about that migration of birds. Now the question you may ask is, how do the birds know the route? Yes or no? Suppose I ask you, right now, go to Africa. It is very difficult. No, you don't know the road. You don't know the route. You may ask, sir, give us map at least, or give us GPS. So birds, they do not have any GPS. Birds do not have some map. So how do they know which is the route? Well, what you will come to know later as you study is not the wind. Sorry, Sujay, it's not the wind. Even if there is no wind, they can still migrate from place to place. Okay. However, in their toothpick, or some research is saying in the retina also, there are some iron oxides which are similar to magnetic compass. And that magnetic compass, as they go from place to place, interacts with magnetic field of Earth. And from that interaction, they come to know that this is south, this is north, like that. Now, when a teacher is saying like this, you may raise your hand and you may ask, what is magnetic field, sir, like that? Or what is magnetic field, ma'am? So again, what is magnetic field means you have to come to where? You have to come to where? Physics. Understood? Again, something interesting I'll tell you. In biology, you will learn about heart attacks. Heart attacks. Okay, so this is your pipe in which the blood will flow. I know it is not called pipe, it is called artery, but it is like pipe only, right? Let us make it simple. See, I always like making things simple. Complication better. No need to bring complications in the study. As far as possible, our job is to make things simple. So through these arteries, this blood will flow. Blood will flow. Let me use red color. Okay, blood is red in color. So blood will flow. Now, if you eat too much oil, too much dalda, too much butter, too much ghee, then what happens is, in the walls of this artery, there will be plaque deposited. Plaque. Some of them will call it cholesterol. Because of which this area through which the blood is flowing, the area through which the blood is flowing has become small. And whenever the area becomes small, the blood will flow faster. And you know that from your experience, I think at your home you may be having tap. Yes or no? So when water is coming out, try to reduce the area. If this is the area of the tap, the mouth of the tap, try to reduce the area. Try to reduce it. You will see water will come faster like that. Are you understanding? So when there will be plaque deposited in the inner walls of the artery, the blood will flow faster. And when blood will flow faster, the pressure here, the pressure will decrease. And when the pressure inside will decrease, outside pressure will crunch like this. So the pipe will constrict. The pipe will constrict like this. Like this. Why? Because of the reduction in the area, the blood will flow fast. When the blood will flow fast, the pressure inside will decrease. And when pressure inside will decrease, things move from where? High pressure to low pressure. So if pressure inside will decrease, the walls will come like this. Are you understanding? The walls will come like this. So therefore, what will happen? Therefore, what will happen? This pipe will have a constriction, so the blood will not be able to flow. Blood will not be able to flow. Nandita, force is inversely proportional to area is not correct. Pressure is inversely proportional to area if force is kept constant. But here it is not like that. So you may be asking when your teacher is teaching all these things. Nandita, don't worry about the physics part. Physics part, I am there. Don't worry. Full first PU, second PU, aram se we will study. First, try to understand why I am calling it most fundamental study. Most fundamental study. So you may be asking the teacher, sir, if velocity, if the blood will flow fast, why will the pressure decrease? Why? Again, you have to come to physics. There is a theorem, there is a principle called Bernoulli's principle, which will explain this, whatever I have told. So all these, like these students, many examples are there. Take your mobile phone, take your laptop, take your computer. All these are made up of transistors inside. Transistors are made up of semiconductors, and semiconductors are studied in which subject? Physics. So my point is this: I am not saying all of you should be physicists, all of you should study only physics. No, I am not saying like that. If your interest is biology, study biology. If your interest is chemistry, study chemistry. If your interest is music, be a musician. If your interest is dancing, be a dancer, no problem. But the knowledge of physics will always be useful to you. Why, students? Because physics is the most fundamental study of nature. Most fundamental study. Even when you play cricket and all, how the ball will swing, reverse swing, left swing, right swing, all this you can study using physics. When you play football, how the ball will curve, banana kick it is called, the boys may be knowing, how the ball will curve when you give a spin to the ball. If you give a spin to the ball will curve while going like this. So all that you can understand using physics. So I'm not saying again that if you study physics, you will become Sachin Tendulkar. No. But if you know physics, you will be knowing that, oh, this is, if I make one side of the ball rough, one side of the ball smooth, then the ball will swing. So that knowledge you will get. See, there are two ways of knowing things. One is by doing repetition. So that is how sportsmen improve. Sportsmen will keep repeating. They will keep repeating, and then slowly their brain will understand that if I do like this, this will happen. Another way is you have the knowledge of physics with you already. So directly you can apply the knowledge. Are you understanding, students? So what I'm trying to tell you, that having the knowledge of physics will always be useful to you in any sphere of life. Any sphere of life. Okay? So I have given you plenty of examples, and as you study more and more examples will come, don't worry. But now look this part. So we study nature, but we use what branch? Mathematics. We use mathematics. Now some of you may think, why we use mathematics, sir? Why can't we use English language? Why can't we use Kannada language? It is a nice language. Why can't we use Sanskrit language? Why we are using mathematical language? So to answer to this question, think of this. See, physics is an experimental science. Physics is a what science? Experimental science. Yes, you have to keep a separate book. All these things I will be telling you. First, let me just discuss the basic introduction part. Then I will be telling you what things you should do in the class, what are the things you should have, and how to enjoy the class. All those things I will be telling you. Just give me some 5-10 minutes to explain the basic meaning of this sentence. See, once I explain to you physics is this, I have to give reason. No, if I don't give you reason, then what kind of teacher it is? Yes or no? Okay, now look here. Why we should use mathematics? Why we should use mathematics? For example, look here. Physics is a experimental science. Write down this also. Write down. All of you write down. Physics is a experimental science. Meaning, in physics, you don't simply say things. Whatever you say, it has to be checked experimentally. So once I check experimentally, once I know that yes, experiments are saying whatever you are saying is correct, then I will believe in whatever you say. Otherwise, I don't believe. So in physics, we do experiments to test whether your theory or whatever you are saying, whether it is correct or not. To check that, we use experiments. For example, now suppose I drop this pen from 20-meter height or 1-meter height, doesn't matter. Now suppose I ask you, how much time it will take for the pen to reach the ground? How much time will it take for the pen to reach the ground? If I ask this question, how will your answer come? In what form your answer will come? Can you tell me? So I hope you have written this. So if I drop a pen from some height and I ask you, how much time it will take for the pen to reach the ground, in what form your answer will be? In the form of, will it be in the form of diagram? Seconds it will be, but before seconds what will be there? Sanvi, Ganpita, okay, Nandita. In the form of what? Number. It will be in the form of number. Very good. So number, it will be in the form of number. You will tell, sir, some of you will apply. Okay, Ganapita. Okay. So some of you will tell, sir, it is 3 seconds using your theory, your knowledge. Some of you will say, no, sir, it is 5 seconds. Some of you will say, no, sir, it is 2.7 seconds. So all of you will give me numbers. Why? Because then I can test experimentally. Yes or no? I have what? I have clock. So using clock, I can measure how much time it will take. And if I get 2 seconds, then the person who told it will take 2 seconds, that person's theory will be correct. But in order to get 2 seconds, you need to have numbers, and numbers will come in what kind of study? Mathematical study. Okay, students. So I hope you understood why mathematics is used in physics. Okay, because we want everything to be quantitative. Quantitative matlab, if I ask what is the length of this marker, you cannot say this much like that. You cannot say, no sir, it is this much, this much, this much, this much, that much I don't want. You have to express it in terms of number. And once you deal with numbers, you have to study maths. Okay, students. So I hope you all understood what is the use of mathematics in physics. And as you study first PU, you will come to know that there will be so much of mathematics involved. And believe me, mathematics is a beautiful language. It is like language only. It is just a language. I don't consider mathematics as science, because in mathematics, we don't prove anything experimentally. So if you assume this, then there will be certain theorems, certain laws. For example, if you say the paper is flat, if you say the paper is flat, and then if you draw if you draw any triangle, then the sum of interior angles will be how much? 180 degree. That geometry is called, what kind of geometry it is called? If your space or your paper is flat and you draw a triangle, and if you draw interior angles, the sum of interior angles should be how much? 180 degree. What kind of geometry it is called? Euclidean geometry. Analytical geometry. It is called Euclidean geometry. Yes, you can call it analytical also, but it was discovered by Euclidean. So based on what assumption, students? Listen carefully. Based on what assumption? The paper is flat. Now suppose I make the paper like this. Samrudh is correct. Suppose I make the paper like this, curved like this, like Earth's surface. There, if I make a triangle, how it will look? Like this, Yes or no? It will look like this, triangle. If the surface is curved, then your theorem, now your assumption is no longer true. Your assumption was the paper is flat. If your paper is curved, your assumption is not correct. So your conclusion, what conclusion? The sum of interior angles will be 180 degree, will also be not correct. So in mathematics, no, if assumption you assume, then your answer will be correct. If your assumption is not assumed, your answer will be not correct. That's it. So if the space is curved, then we call it Riemann geometry. Einstein used it to understand about black holes and all, which we will study much later. But if you are interested, someday I can talk about Einstein's theory also. Okay, so now, so we have to use mathematics. Okay, students. So first few classes, at least 1 week, we will be studying about some mathematical tools which we need. So there are 3 important tools. Okay, first one, differentiation. Some of you may have done it, but don't worry, I will try to bring something new which you don't know. Okay, students. So first topic that we have to cover is differentiation. Second topic is integration. And remember, integration is reverse of differentiation. It is reverse, like division. Division is reverse of what? Quickly tell me. Division is reverse process of which? Multiplication. Yes or no? If I multiply A by 2, if I get B. If I multiply A by 2 and I get B, then what I should do to B? To get A, I should divide by 2, then I will get A. Understanding? So if I multiply A by 2, I get B. If I divide B by 2, I will get A. So if this is smiley and this is sad smiley, so if you multiply happy smiley by 2, you get sad smiley. If you divide sad smiley by 2, you will get happy smiley. Okay, so this is the meaning when I say reverse process. So similarly, integration will be reverse process of differentiation. What are these, students? These are mathematical tools. Mathematical tools that we will need to study physics. And the third one is vectors. So first few classes, at least 10 to 10 classes, I think, we'll go in dealing with all of them. Okay, students. Now, how many of you know already what is differentiation? Just raise your hand. Say I know, like that. How many of you know differentiation? Just write I know, like that. If you don't know, very good, I'll be happy. But if you know also, I will try to bring something new. Have you done differentiation in Learnity classes? Okay, no, sir. Oh, super. Very good. Then since no one has done, then it is very good news for teachers. See, teacher will be very happy when students, they don't know. Then what happens? Then teacher gets chance to explain. So what I will do, today we will not start. Already it is late, I know, students. I'm sorry for that again. Some miscommunication has happened. But I will give you the heart of differentiation. Heart. What is the main thing about differentiation? After that, we will start next class on time. Okay. So I will not be late. Okay. So look here. So these are the 3 topics. I hope all of you have written differentiation, integration, and vectors. So to study differentiation, I will not be dealing everything today. Just some basic questions I will be asking you, and aram se you answer. Don't worry that if I say wrong, will sir be angry or not? Don't think like that. Okay or not? Wrong is important. Only if you do wrong, then you can invent something new. Otherwise, it will be old things only. So let me draw 3 graphs. and then ask you some questions, and then we will stop. So three graphs. Graphs versus what versus what? Here runs, here overs. So all of you are, I think, fans of IPL. Now IPL is stopped because of this COVID-19. So let me take something which you can relate. See, if I write here y, x like that, you will think what is y, what is x like that. Yes or no? So let me write runs, let me write overs. Okay, now look carefully. Suppose this graph looks like this. Okay. Okay, very good. Jivita, no problem. Okay. So this graph looks like this. This graph looks like this. And this graph looks like this. Don't answer anything right now. I'm going to ask you some specific question and then we will stop the class. Here, all of you. See these three graphs. Okay. See these three graphs, all of you. Very good. Okay. See these three graphs. Now answer my question. In which of the case, okay, it could be A, it could be B, it could be C, or it could be all of them. In which case, with overs, the runs are increasing. With overs, the runs are increasing. In which case, the runs are increasing with overs. Okay. Some of you are saying A, some are saying A and C. Okay, fine. So let me answer it to all of you. If you look at the graph, the answer is in all the case. In all the case, runs are increasing with overs. So the answer is A also, B also, C also. None of you are correct. Sorry to say, but none of you are correct. I asked what question? In which case runs are increasing? Runs are increasing with overs. So as I increase the number of overs, you can see runs are increasing or not. Check here, check. When this was the over, this was the runs. When this was the over, this was the runs. When this was the over, this was the runs. Similarly, when this was the over, this was the runs. When this was the over, this was the runs. When this was the over, this was the runs. Similarly here, when this was the over, this was the runs. When this was the over, this was the runs. When this is the over, these are the runs. When this is the over, these are the runs. So you can see, students, in every case, runs are increasing as overs increase. As you go like this, you can see the runs are increasing. As overs are increasing, runs are increasing. As overs are increasing, runs are increasing. In every case, why you told only A? So in every case, this case also, this case also, this case also. As overs are bold, the number of runs scored is increasing in every case. But the difference is what? The difference is, look carefully. Yes, but the difference is, look here. When this is equal number of overs, you have equal number of runs. So in 5 overs, if you score 10 runs, that is very bad actually. So let me say in 1 over, if this is 1 over, 2 over, 3 over. In 1 over, if you score 10 runs. In another 1 over, you again scored 10 runs only. So this is 20. This gap is 10. Similarly, this gap will be how much? 10. So here, in the first case, for equal number of overs, the equal number of runs are scored here. Here, if you look carefully, for first over, more runs are scored. In next over, less runs. Next over, less runs. So here, if I draw properly here, then as this gap is not proper, so if I keep this number of runs, number of overs equal, you can see the number of runs scored is becoming not less, but the rate is decreasing. How less, sir? Okay, let me try to explain. So we will do this part, okay, and then we will stop. So look carefully. this is overs, this is runs. So if the graph looks like this, okay, now look carefully. Let me take first over equal, okay, first over, second over, this should be equal to this, third over. Now look carefully. In the first over, this much runs was scored. Can you see? Chana ba sapa. Okay. In the first over, this much runs was scored. In the next one over, you see less runs are scored. See, runs are scored, but less than before. But less than before. In next one over, see, even less runs. Are you understanding or not? So here, the number of runs scored per over I should say, per over, the number of runs scored here is decreasing. Yes, it is not uniform, but here the number of runs scored is decreasing. Here what is happening? Can you tell me here? In this case, for 1 over this much runs, for next 1 over this much runs, for next 1 over this much runs, for next 1 over this much runs. So slope and all we will study later, Raksha. Don't worry about slope. But what we have understood here is what? Here, runs per over is constant. Here, runs per over is decreasing. Here, runs per over is increasing. So this is what you all should understand looking at this graph. Understand again, runs are increasing in all the cases. In all the cases, runs are increasing. See, increasing. From 0 it started, increasing. From 0 it started, increasing. Runs are increasing, no doubt. But here, the run rate word is very important, rate. So here when you divide this coordinate by this coordinate, okay students, so this runs per over, here it is constant. Here the runs per over is decreasing. You can see in 1 over more runs, in next 1 over less runs, in next 1 over less runs. So the number of runs scored per over you have to say that number of runs scored per over is decreasing. Here number of runs scored per over is increasing. Okay, so in mathematics, how will we put this simple? In mathematics, what we will write? We will write y here, and what will you write here? If I write y here, what will I write here? Quickly, x. And what will be this runs? This will be your delta y. Delta y matlab change in y, and overs will be delta x. So that will be constant. Here delta y by delta x is decreasing. Here delta y by delta x is increasing. Delta word, this delta, let me write here, this delta is a Greek alphabet. A, B, C, D is English alphabet. So delta is a Greek alphabet. It is used for change in. In physics, we use it for change in. So delta y means change in this coordinate, change in runs. So from 0 to 10, 10 runs. From 10 to 20, 10 runs. From 20 to 30, 10 runs. Here you can see from 0 to maybe this is 30. 0 to 30, what is the change? 30 runs. Now it is 30 to 40. What is the change? 10 runs. 40 to 45, what is the change? 5 runs. So here the change in y divided by change in x is decreasing. So to put all of this in summary, what is the main thing here? The main thing is here y coordinate. Students, listen carefully. Y coordinate is increasing. Here also, here also, here also. Y coordinate is increasing. But change in y, when x will change, matlab number of runs scored. Sir, can we tell delta as difference also? Yes, you can tell difference also. Very good. So look here, now listen carefully. In every case, y is increasing, y is increasing, y is increasing, y is increasing. So runs are increasing, no doubt. Runs are increasing. But the change in the runs, matlab change in y, that is constant here for equal changes in x. For equal changes in x. Here the change in y is constant. Here for equal changes in x, the change in y is decreasing. For equal changes in runs, the change in y is increasing. So if you want your marks to be this, marks. See, this can be any variable. So this is your marks. And this is time. Then which graph you want your marks to follow? First graph, second graph, third graph. Answer this, I will be happy. Tushar, be careful. First graph will go like this only. Constant. Very good. So once you have answered that, I think all of you have understood. So students, will stop for today. I'm really sorry for the confusion that is created. I will talk to Kiran sir once and properly we will decide. So all of you want your marks to increase this way, because you can see it starts slow, but then it will very soon become almost infinity. Okay, fine. So we'll stop for today. Any doubts you have, please ask me. Yeah, I will tell about the books and all. Okay, so what is delta? This is called rate. Delta y by delta x is called rate of change in y with respect to x. Okay, so delta y by delta x is called rate of y with respect to x. Just like runs per over. Runs per over is called what? In cricket, what is runs per over called? Runs per over. Run rate. Very good. Okay. So let me quickly tell you. See, I have not taught anything which you don't know. I have taught everything which you know. That is how you have to understand everything in life. Everything that you are trying to understand, something new, you have to try to relate it with something old. So whatever you know, with that you have to relate with something new. Let me